In this video I go looking for some very rare birds in the Netherlands, including a third record ever. I also go looking for my nemesis bird and a bird of prey I've never seen perched. Hi, I'm the Dutch birder and 2025 is my 17th year of birding. This year I'm on a quest to document at least 250 different bird species. Join me on my quest through wetlands and forests of the small European country called the Netherlands. After a very good streak of rare birds, it is now time for some scarce birds I still need for the year list, because those are just as important when doing a big year. Now today I'm birding the Frisian IJsselmeer coast, with the main targets being osprey and yellow-legged gull, and there also seems to be a glossy ibis present. I have seen it this year, but it's a very nice species, so hopefully we can find that one as well. My first stop is Piam, bird height the rail, because for quite some days now an osprey has been present here, sitting in dead trees eating fish. So hopefully that one will be the first target to add to the list. I'm now walking towards the height and came across two other birders who just came out of the height, and they told me the osprey is there at the moment. So I'm hot footing to the height. Let's hope we can also see it. One advantage of the height is that you're much less bothered by the wind, and luckily the osprey was still there. The bird had caught a big fish and was happily eating it right in front of the height, which gave me the chance to get some nice shots. When I came up with the idea for a video year list, I had already mapped out in broad terms where and when I'd like to see certain species. For example, I figured there would surely be a day of migration counting at a site like Kamperhoek, which by late April would give me a good chance at osprey. But this year there wasn't a single day that felt so good that I was taking time off for it. My backup plan was the Onlander, my local patch, but I hadn't seen a single osprey there all year either. Combined with the fact that I would very likely be able to get good footage of this bird, footage I could also use in later videos, this made me decide to give it a try. Apart from this osprey, there wasn't much else exciting around, unless of course you're really into common terns. They were here too. I'm now walking towards my next location, a viewpoint over the IJssel Lake near Workum, because a yellow-legged gull has been photographed here a couple of times over the past week, and I still need that species for the year list. Could have had it by now, but I want to film an adult bird and not one of those juveniles, brown and white birds, but one with those bright yellow legs, just in full adult plumage. So let's hope it's here and we can film it. When I arrived at the viewpoint, I noticed that the water level seemed pretty high to me. I was also surprised to see all the gulls sitting on the far tip of the dam. That was a huge distance, and on top of that it was very windy. I wondered if this was going to work out. While scanning, the first thing I picked up was a calling Caspian tern. Since it was flying towards me, I had time to grab a camera and film it. Pay attention here to the amount of black on the tip of the underwing. That's a feature you can use if you see a tern flying away and you can't see the bill. Back to the gulls. Over here on the left point is where they were standing. In the past you would mostly see herring gulls here, but these days there are also decent numbers of Caspian gulls. That doesn't exactly make the search for a possible yellow-legged gull any easier. In this shot you can see two gulls that seem to have yellow legs, but if you look closely you'll notice that it only looks that way because these birds are wearing yellow collar rings. A few years ago Caspian gulls were probably ringed with yellow rings in colonies here in the Netherlands. From a distance this makes the legs look yellow, but in reality they're more pinkish. Looking at the wing pattern, this bird turns out to be a Caspian gull. Here you can clearly see that there is no black band at the tip of the outermost primary. Also, the grey cuts deeply into the black, so that the black runs inward into a long point, often called a bayonet, referring to the stabbing blade they used to attach to old rifles.
Although the mantle of this bird looks fairly dark, you can also see the dark eye here. That's another good feature for an adult Caspian gull. Here you can once again clearly see the wing pattern.
I think I have it, but it's so immensely far away. Can't even get a clear view with my scope, so I have to use my camera with the teleconverter with clear image zoom and then another 4 times digital zoom to see any details, but it looks promising. It looks like it has a light eye, a lot of black on the wingtips, yellow legs and a pretty dark mantle, but not as dark as lesser black-backed gull. So I think I have my yellow-leg gull, but I guess I have to check at my computer to be 100% sure.
In between, I got a quick call from my wife, who was at home with the kids. But since this is my English channel, I will assume that you don't understand the Dutch language, so I'll skip ahead. If you happen to be from the Netherlands, then check the link to my Dutch channel in the description. After that nice conversation, I finally managed to get my first adult yellow-leg gull on film. I would have liked the bird a lot closer though, because not all of the features are clearly visible here. So I'll definitely be keeping my eyes open in the coming weeks. Unfortunately, the glossy ibis was no longer around, but with 2 new species I went home satisfied.
Good morning guys, Willem and I are currently at Westhoek, one of the best high tide roosts for waders in the Netherlands. Over the past couple of weeks a white-rumped sandpiper has been seen amongst all the other waders, and the white-rumped sandpiper is a rare bird in the Netherlands. It's originated from the Americas, so we hope to find it and add it to a year list. But above all, we're going to enjoy all these waders, thousands of waders. Incredible.
As it turned out, we weren't the only ones hoping to find some rare waders.
Zwarte ruiter. Ja. En voor mij vliegt hij daar ook. Nee, zo probeer. Ja, altijd opletten, hè? Want als een bombekje roept een zwarte ruiter, dan heb je beet.
I was of course thinking of semi-palmated plover, and so I decided to film some common ring plovers to explain what you need to pay attention to. In the meantime, however, an intriguing photo had been uploaded from Terschelling of a plover showing many features of semi-palmated plover. So I'll just refer you to that for more details, although it is in Dutch and you may want to translate it. Sadly, most of the waders this time disappeared out of sight and we couldn't find a white-rumped sandpiper or anything else noteworthy. We did get a tip though that a tame cuckoo might be sitting along the dike. We did find the cuckoo quickly, but tame it certainly wasn't. We had a lot of patience and slowly creeping closer I was still able to get some nice shots.
We are now at our next stop at the wetland area near Oudega, Because also here a white-rumped sandpiper has been present for about 2 weeks now. So that was our backup plan, and since we didn't get one at Westhoek, we have to try it here.
This area has produced some interesting species before, but it's not a favorite of mine. The birds are often very far away and the light conditions are never really ideal, but this time we had to make do. All the way in the back we spotted some waders that we could only just about identify with great effort. Only when the wind eased a bit and a cloud passed in front of the sun we could make anything of it. That's how we picked out these common snipes, along with some wood sandpipers and ruffs. We also found another common ring plover, but there was no sign of a sandpiper.
We've been searching for about an hour, haven't seen it. The waders are also very far away, so sometimes we think we have it in view, but then it turns out to be just a wood sandpiper. So we're giving it about another 15 minutes, and if not, it's another dip.
Eventually, we came up with the idea to climb right on top of the viewpoint, which allowed us to just barely look over the reed bed in front. Apparently, the white-rumped sandpiper had been seen in that exact spot before.
Een beetje links of niet? Nee, dat ik heb. Zie je hem op dit moment lopen? Kun je me aanwijzingen geven? Oh ja, ik heb hem. Ja, ik heb hem. Echt tegen het drietal, loop naar links. Ik dingen erachteraan, camper, of nu zijn dingen veren. Snel van de veren. Camper naar links.
With the teleconverter on my camera and the tripod fully extended above my head, I could just use the tilting screen to film over the reeds. And that's how we managed to find the bird after all. White-rumped sandpiper is a long, fairly grey looking sandpiper with a clear white eyebrow stripe and striking streaking on the flanks. That makes it one of the easier rare sandpipers to identify. Riding high on our incredible summer streak, we set off for the next species in South Holland. There, my nemesis bird had been found, an aquatic warbler, a species I've dipped so many times or searched for without success. Last year I did manage to record one briefly on video, but the footage didn't really meet my minimum standards. Yesterday an aquatic warbler had been seen throughout the entire day in the Eendagspolder near Zevenhuizen, but as we were almost there and no new reports had come in, our spirit sank a bit. Until I got a message from Gary Bakker that Chris van Rijswijk had just found another aquatic warbler in the exact same spot. We couldn't get there fast enough. There was no shortage of sedge warblers, as several families with young were flying around, and perhaps there were even some migrants mixed in. Every sedge warbler was carefully checked in the hope of finding a yellower individual with sharper crown streaking, yellow tram lines down the back and pale lures. Although, based on a capture in the Kennemerduinen, if I remember correctly, aquatic warbler can occasionally show darker lures as well. While searching, we didn't just find sedge warblers. There were also a few reed warblers and even this beautiful blue throat.
Zelf niet op video te zien.
Oh, we finally got it after 1.5 hours of searching. But it was very brief. I did get a good shot though. But now it went back into the reeds. And we are waiting for it to show again. Let's hope.
Nee, dat is hem.
Nee. Dat is hem, ja. Dat is hem. Achterste riet. Achterste groene riet. Rechts van dit lijn. Voor het groene stukje riet.
Licht.
We decided to give it to 10 o'clock for another sighting of the aquatic warbler, but sadly it didn't show itself anymore. So we are now at our second location of the day, a spot where a juvenile spotted crake has been seen over the past couple of weeks, and I still need that for the year list, so let's hope we'll find it.
When I started the video year list, I thought I'd probably manage to film the species again in Lauwersmeer. But this year they've been so scarce that we had to scrap that plan.
There are like 4 people searching at the moment for the spotted crake, but we haven't found it. There was one observation this morning at a slightly other spot than it was seen over the past couple of weeks. But when we looked there, we only found a juvenile moorhen. So was it a misidentification or did it really move to another spot? We'll have to see. Just refound the spotted crake myself. Turned out it was foraging behind the fence to protect the reeds. We were expecting it to forage in front of the reeds because that was what we saw on photos. So didn't get the shots I was hoping for, but on the other hand I filmed the species pretty good last year, so it doesn't bother me too much. At least it's a new addition to the year list. We are now going to search for some hobbies that were also reported here in the area, because that would also be a new one for the year list. From a very large distance I spotted a tree with some dead branches and I recognized it from some photos. So I looked at the tree and there was a hobby on top of the tree. So I filmed it just to be sure and to add it to the year list. But we're now walking closer, hopefully to get some better shots.
From behind you can see that the wingtips reach about to the end of the tail. This allows you to immediately rule out kestrel, red-footed falcon, merling, gyrfalcon and zakervalken. The white on the head rules out a male red-footed falcon and the grey cap rules out a female or juvenile red-footed falcon. The fact that the white behind the cheeks curve upwards also excludes a Rarest falcon and peregrine falcon, so even from behind, under less than ideal light conditions, you can quickly identify a hobby.
On our way back to the car we got another nice surprise, a juvenile green woodpecker, new plumage for the archive.
This is a young female. You can tell it's a juvenile by the streaked head. The moustache stripe is black instead of reddish, which makes it a female.
Well, we got 3 out of 3 targets this morning and we were planning on heading for a black-winged kite on the way back home. But now a zakervalken has been reported. If accepted, it will be the second record for the Netherlands. And the first one I dipped in just about a couple of seconds. So that is a real wish species for me. So we're now heading there quickly. Hopefully we can find it and add it to the list. Slight change of plans. We didn't directly go to the zakervalken because there was some uncertainty about the identification. Maybe it's a lanner falcon, which has less vagrancy potential than zakervalken, and also the bird was only seen flying by. So we decided to take a slight detour to get to a black-winged kite that was seen in Overijssel, which is also new for the year list.
At such a great distance and with a lot of heat haze, these are not National Geographic quality shots, but it still counts nicely for my year list. And this wasn't the last I'd see of this bird. The zakervalken unfortunately wasn't refound, but a few days later a black-winged kite showed up near Langelo, less than a 10-minute drive from home. But since this episode is already quite long, we'll save that for the next one. In that episode we'll also be searching for the third for the Netherlands species I mentioned at the start of the video, and a raptor I've never seen perched on the ground before. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Whoa, crazy birding this summer. Today we also got all targets we went for. 4 targets in the pocket. Aquatic warbler, hobby, spotted crake and now the black-winged kite. Our plan is now to drop Willem off at home and then head home myself. But hopefully plans will change and we'll see you at the Zakenvalken.